Order. The purpose of the meeting is to discuss what, two properties, Jim?
Yes.
Yeah, two properties that we want to, one is the local property here in Herkimer. We received 5 sealed bids, and the highest one is $53,000.
Can we get the address?
I'll make the motion.
Yeah, 123 Mohawk Street, where
Yo,
Baslow
Baslow.
Law Office
Oh,
used to
okay.
be, on Mohawk Street. And so we have 5 sealed bids, the highest one's $53,000. Motion by Bruce, second by Dutch. Go ahead.
Do we understand why this went on the tax sale or didn't go on the tax sale? Just refresh our memories on this particular piece of property.
I can't recall.
I can't remember.
Go ahead.
One of the creditors of whoever owned it at the time went bankrupt in Nevada.
A lot of people go bankrupt.
And the question, and this was an asset, and it became a question of whether, we were stopped basically by the bankruptcy proceedings. Whenever somebody files a petition of bankruptcy, all pending court actions cease. And we've gone through a couple-year process of getting that property released from the bankruptcy proceedings. We finally were successful in doing that. We retained counsel in Las Vegas to do it, and we're successful, and now we're able to sell it.
How much were our legal costs then?
I don't remember, they weren't extravagant. They were, well,
I think it was like $2,500 twice, wasn't it?
I'm thinking 5,000, 7,500, somewhere in that range, and the good news is, we were successful in getting this property released in Las Vegas, so we could proceed with the sale, which is what we've now done, and then now this bid has come. So it's very good news for the county.
There's no more money owed to the bankruptcy.
No money owed.
Okay.
We finally convinced them to let it go. It was in their best interest to cooperate with us.
Any more discussion? Go ahead, Bruce.
Yeah, the money that we received for the bid just about breaks even with what was owed for past taxes.
We actually are on target to profit about $7,000 once we do cancellations, pay the taxes that are due. We're ahead about $7,000.
Take into account the legal
But the
fees?
good news is it's going back on the
Still
tax.
up.
Wash them if you take in the legal fees.
So still a positive outcome out there.
We have a motion, a second. All those in favor? Opposed? Carried. We have an additional property?
Yeah, a piece of property, Rob, if I could ask you, in Manheim, that's come to our attention.
Correct. This is about a half an acre property that is in the town of Manheim. It borders Route 5. Those of you who know where Beidelman Road is, there's a tiny little dirt section of Beidelman Road that runs south off of Route 5 down to River Road. And it apparently, it turns out that the county had taken title to this property many years ago in connection with the acquisition and improvement of Route 5. Probably when it went from 2 lanes to 4 lanes in that area. This property has been, it actually has been surveyed, and then the nearby property is surveyed, and then the highway department has done a thorough investigation, and it's been learned that it was thought the state owned it. The county owns it. For some reason, apparently the county would take title for properties. It borders a town road, a little section of Beidelman Road is town road and a state road. The State Department of Transportation, however, has maintenance jurisdiction over the property. The state will release its maintenance jurisdiction if the county is willing to sell the property. The highway law allows the county to convey this property to an adjoining landowner. Their name is Miller, and they have applied to receive title to it. There's a tiny section which would also go to another neighbor. And I have a map here if anyone wanted to look at it that's been prepared by the highway department so you can see it. We're not in a position, we don't have a cash offer yet. We're still researching how we would value that and what arrangements we'd have to make with that one owner to receive the half acre.
You're looking for a motion to proceed?
Yeah, motion to allow the sale, and then I think what we'd end up doing, once the legislature adopts this, have the State Department of Transportation release their maintenance jurisdiction, and then we would convey
There's
based
no
on.
need for an appraisal in there.
And that's, I talked with Mr. Smith, who's the legislator of that, these taxpayers, and I told him, I'm not yet sure what payment arrangements have to be made. It's worth something, I don't think it's worth anything to anyone but them. And the highway law specifically says we may convey to adjoining property owners.
I've been involved with these before. You just get it back to where it came from originally.
And
Basically all you're doing.
I don't believe it's improvable, it does, you know, over the years, I think there probably has been occupied by people to a great extent.
Well, the well for the property is on this piece of property that we're talking about.
Makes it valuable to them.
And without that well, that house is, you know, What happened
And
here-
to safeguard that person's well.
what happened here in the beginning, when they purchased the property, they were told that their property line went over and included all that, and I have a map here which was given to them that shows that. But the people next door, which is the third owner of the property next door, recently had their property surveyed, and when they did, they surveyed Miller's property along with it and found that they really, what they did is they moved everything down the road, and that excludes that piece of property, so.
And I mean, as long as New York State DOT has no use of it, we have no use for it.
And I checked with the town of Manheim, they own that road, that's a town
Yeah.
road, they have no use for it, so.
Is it landlocked? I mean, if these
By,
people.
by state state or town right away, it's landlocked, right?
If these people
It's about
didn't
3 sides
take
by the road.
it,
Yeah.
it's too small for anybody else to do anything with it, you know,
I've
it's just
seen,
a narrow strip of
I've
land.
seen these are
I probably think so, it's just sensible, I just.
Really, if we're gonna
I
give
want
it
them to go
or
back
sell it
and
to
take it.
anybody, we really should sell it to the millers. And that's what I'm here tonight for, to try to get.
Well, we're in favor of
of doing-
moving it on legally and have no intention to keep it for ourselves.
Okay,
Right? Correct? That's the intention today.
that's what I wanna hear, and I'll go back to them and maybe we can work out a price.
Is there anyone opposed?
To make an offer.
How much area are we talking?
Oh,
Half an acre.
Half an acre.
Half an
Under
acre.
half an acre.
Is it all road frontage?
Yeah, but it's landlocked between their lot and the right of ways,
Oh,
town and state right of way.
It's a funny shape, it's extremely narrow, it's, a good part of it's hillside.
Oh, a good part of it's hillside?
Yeah, it's really.
So they're not gonna benefit by selling it as another road
Oh,
frontage
no.
property?
No, it's
Okay.
just, it'd just be in addition to their existing lot. Here's the map.
And protect their water.
Right, no, well, that's not, exactly.
You know, they're just looking to tidy up the bookkeeping.
They're looking to save their house rather than
No,
profit.
understandable.
No one's opposed, or you're authorized to proceed. Anything else for properties tonight? Go ahead.
Yeah, the land up in the watershed outside the city of Little Falls that they are interested in purchasing. I know there was some, we had a survey done of they haven't logged the trees. The city of Little Falls would like to make an offer on that. They were interested in paying $35,000 for the parcels and giving 25% when they do log it back to the county of what they receive, or actually 25% of the full logging fee. So basically they'd split it 50-50, because the 50% would roughly go to the company that's doing the logging. But they would like to move forward with that if they could do something. I mean, it's to protect their watershed, their water, sits right on the creek that feeds the city water. So they wanted, as we've talked about it several times.
Yes, I know, this is my first go around on properties. I know it has been discussed before. Anybody else on property? Go ahead.
How much is owed in back taxes on those two parcels, roughly?
I don't know off the top
I
of my
wasn't
head.
even close to that.
No?
No, it was a barrel of land.
So it would cover it then?
Oh, probably 10. It was like 6 or 7 grand, I think, total,
No.
at that.
First of all, I don't think anybody's completely prepared. It's something we can go back into a subsequent meeting over. I don't think nothing more would happen to that. without that input coming to the full committee.
And it would stay in the tax roll, that's the point.
Right, that's what I was just,
Yes.
I was just gonna say
When
that.
that land was first on the auction, I think myself and others got many phone calls from people that were interested in it. And the comments that were made, and I think discussed in this properties committee meeting, was the value that it proposed because of the logging rights. And I believe at some point we hired and expended money to have someone go out and check the species of lumber that was there, and that the reason we didn't sell it back then, we were waiting for the lumber prices to be higher, or I think that's what the former chairman said. Do we know an estimate of what it was worth back then?
I think Bernie got several quotes, written quotes, correct? I know he did get several written quotes.
About 40,000 grand.
Just for the lumber was worth back then?
Just for what the
Well, that's,
timber.
you wouldn't get 40.
Right, that's what
You get half.
value that.
Well, no, if we had somebody do it, we have it right now, we did it and gave Little Falls the land, we get the 40,000.
No, you wouldn't, you get 20,
Why?
because you're gonna pay the logger 20.
Well, I don't know if
Right,
that's the case.
I'm just letting you know, that's what I'm talking about. So that's why they came up with 35 and basically 10 or 12,000 will give you 40. You sell it to Little Falls, you're looking at about $45,000 price tag, that's what you're gonna get. You're gonna get the 35 up front plus 25% of the, so if it's a $40,000 gross, you're gonna get 10,000 of that. So you're still being, you know, the total value of the lumber.
So Little Falls will make a written offer?
Yeah, they would do that, they wanna see if we move, you know, if that's something we
Kurt,
entertain.
are we going to, sorry,
Go ahead, go ahead.
Kurt, are they going to log it according to what the logger, the forester agreed to?
Yeah,
Are they gonna
selective
only
cut,
get this?
They're not gonna clear cut, no.
No, but what I'm saying though, they're gonna go with the estimated number of trees cut that
Well,
prior forester gave them.
they'll probably, they'll have their own forester go up, but I would assume it'd be pretty close to what we're looking at now.
Right.
I mean, they usually.
I mean, is there any way we can compare, you know, I mean, say if our forester estimated at 47,000,
Right.
okay, and they're
Well,
only
the
gonna
market's
cut.
gonna cut.
Right, no, the market fluctuates, I mean, it's not really probably the best time right now. But what I'm saying though is, if their forester goes in, say our forester said it was 47,000, they're only gonna cut, and it was 200 trees, and they're only gonna cut 100 trees, so they're only gonna give us 50% of the 100 trees, and not the,
25.
right, well, they're gonna give you 25, but what I'm saying though, are they gonna cut the same amount of trees, so, what I'm getting at is the dollar figure, you're saying they're gonna give you 25% of the 50%.
No,
Okay.
25% of the
100, right.
Or 50 of whatever.
Right, but 50, but say 47,000, okay?
Yeah.
So you're talking, what, 23.5?
Have we
Oh.
continued to hold, I'm sorry.
But what I'm saying though, Kurt, is if they're not gonna cut the full 47,000, so they're not gonna give us the full amount. Do you follow what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean-
all the trees.
Right, the value of all the
That's what
trees.
you're saying.
I mean, they could go in,
Listen,
basically,
if you wanna tree it, then go ahead and tree it.
Oh,
Take
no,
it off,
I'm not-
go
no,
buy
I'm not
the-
saying
go buy
that.
land. They didn't care, they just wanna protect their water.
I don't think we're prepared to go into this
Right.
tonight.
Right. I
Is
just
there
want-
anything other?
It's a
When
good
we
idea.
do
No, I mean,
a subsequent properties committee meeting, I'm willing to go into it in detail, but we are prepared, I think we need to be prepared to go into it in detail. Anything else for properties?
Make a motion, adjourn.
Is there a second? Motion and second, all in favor?
okay.
Opposed?
They would make a fun one. No, I know.